Good afternoon from Edgewood Candor Park Station in Atlanta. Today, we will be riding Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transportation Authority, or MARTA. We will be riding Atlanta's Metro Rail, so I will show you the station, the fare system, and the train, and also how to transfer trains. So, join me. Walking up, this station feels very suburban, so it may surprise you when you find out that this station is actually technically within the city of Atlanta, and that most of MARTA's rail is within Atlanta itself, with only 4 stations located outside of what is known by locals as the Perimeter, or the Interstate 285 Beltway, which circles the center of the Atlanta metropolitan area, as well as the whole of the municipality of Atlanta itself. Many MARTA buses go outside of the perimeter in order to connect residents of those areas to metro stations and thus to Atlanta. And as we head over, we can see more of the initial waiting area of the station. Here exists a singular bus bay. As well as an information board that is fully bilingual in both English and Spanish. The information board was last updated on, if I remember correctly, the 23rd of August, 2023. Now, this may not be accurate as to the time I'm actually uploading this video. However, I do think they should update it more often. Then again, if there hasn't been a schedule change since then, there's really no reason to update it. So as long as it is truly up to date, then it is fine. Moving forward in the station, we can head to the bus bay on the other side, and the main parking garage of the station. But there is not much more to see here, other than an ex-bus bay. So let's head back on up. Anyways, heading back up, these machines can be used to purchase single rides on MARTA, or Breeze cards. Breeze is the primary metro card of the Atlanta area. They look like this, and they can be primarily used on MARTA, however, are able to be used on all of the agencies that you see on screen right now. In addition to this, you can also get a personalized Breeze card if you have something like a qualifying disability that you can see on screen now, or if you are above the age of 65. You also must live within the service area of MARTA to get one of these, and they also have your face and name on it to prevent stealing. They remind me a lot of the OV chip cards in the Netherlands, which also can have certain discounts. With that being said, let's go on in. I'm on a 3-day unlimited pass, so I do not have to pay anything for this ride. However, one ride is $2.50 US. And after we tap on in, we can enter. If you've purchased a single ride ticket, keep your ticket at this point, as it is needed to get out of the system. Once you've tapped on in, you can head on down. As I come on down, there's already a train in the station and en route to my intended destination. However, I'm in no rush and would prefer to get a proper filming of this station, so I skip out on this train. Once downstairs, we can explore the platform. I will note that an elevator is also provided at this station for ease of access and disability accessibility. On the platform exists a few benches to wait for your train, a couple of maps, and this unique station signage. Notice anything here? I'll give you a few seconds. This is the extremely common Asian practice of station numbering. Originating in Seoul's metro in South Korea in 1983, this process has spread all around Asia, and, those are on the metro in Minsk, Belarus, on WMATA in Washington, D.C. in the United States, and finally here on MARTA in the United States. In this case, we are 4 stations east of 5 Points, which is the main central transfer point of MARTA. So this means that we are at station E4. Anyways, while that is really cool, the information other than the station numbering is not always the best. Not once while I was in Atlanta did the screens of the headways in the stations actually match up with what the transit app was telling me. Now, I have seen on Twitter, since filming this video, that the screens have gotten a lot better since, and that is really good if true. However, not once did they actually line up, and often it was the transit app that was more correct than the screens. And shortly later, our train pulls in, and we could step on to the back car of the train to grab the foamer window. Today's journey will take us from Edgewood Candor Park to 5 Point Station, where we will then transfer onto a northbound train that will take us another 4 stations north from downtown Atlanta to midtown Atlanta. The total journey time, including the transfer, is about 20 minutes, as we travel a distance of about 5.39 miles or 6.87 kilometers. And once again, my fare for this ride was $2.50 US, with a reduced fare Breeze card available for those with certain intellectual and physical disabilities or who are above the age of 65. This journey will only cost you $1 US. That being said, we are heading on down the Green Line already in our tiny little consist. The reason why this is that the Green Line only has one unique station of its own. The rest of it is simply a Blue Line interline. The station of its own is Bankhead. The line is very infrequent and only has tiny consists of 2 to 3 cars, as Bankhead is the only station on its own in this line. We will only be taking this train to 5 Points, however, where we can then transfer northbound. And you may have noticed that not just is the name of this line green, but the line itself is also very green. This is due to the fact that Atlanta is actually the metropolitan area with the most trees out of any metropolitan area in the world. I'd hope that they would help as a sink for all of the carbon coming in from the nearby most used airport in the world. Now, let's move on to the seats. The seats on here are relatively normal, smooth, hard plastic metro seats. The seats are not bad at all, and are honestly perfect for the short journeys that are being made on here, with the longest single-seat journey possible on MARTA being only 45 minutes long. The rest of the train is relatively lacking in terms of displays, with a few advertisements and a few maps and a few signs of prohibited activity while aboard the train. An LCD display is on the side, which is exclusively used on arrival into stations, stating the station name and, well, not much else.
The next station is King Memorial.
Pulling into stations, all crucial audio announcements are in both US American English and Latin American Spanish, with some of the announcements, specifically those stating the names of nearby attractions, being only announced in English. For me, this seems like enough for a Spanish speaker to get around. However, I only speak Spanish to A2 and I don't really use it in my daily life, so I would love for an actual Spanish speaker who has also been on MARTA to tell me in the comments if they felt that it was adequate enough for someone who would only speak Spanish or speak Spanish but not speak English. And we get a beautiful view of downtown Atlanta skyline as we pull into King Memorial Station, which is named after the nearby memorial to revolutionary African American rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. And shortly after we leave, and after stopping in Georgia State Station, we go underground and soon on into 5 Points.
Station is 5 Points. Transfer port for all rail lines. La siguiente estación es 5 Points. Punto de transporte para todas las líneas del tren. Exit here for
Where we can exit the train, but not end today's journey, as we have a transfer to make. Platforms in 5 Points Station use what is called the Spanish solution, similar to the Red Line platforms in Park Street in Boston. After watching an Indian Creek train and our own train depart, we can head on up the steps, where we can head directly onto the northbound platforms, denotated in the signage with a red and gold dot, symbolizing that the red and gold lines are served by this platform. These platforms also use the Spanish solution and have many benches for transferees and all other riders to sit at. I figure I should talk about the rolling stock. The rolling stock MARTA currently operate are made by 3 different companies. The Belgian Société Franco-Belgique made 118 total CQ318 cars for MARTA, but nowadays only 94 of the 101 to 200 series still operate, with all 20 of the 501 to 520 series currently in the process of being scrapped, having not operated since 2006. Hitachi made 120 CQ311 cars for MARTA, of which all but 2 remain in revenue service today. Finally, Ansaldo Breda of Italy made the latest 100 cars, all of which are CQ312s, units between number 601 and 702. And you might wonder why they use this weird numbering scheme, going up to 702 if they only bought 100 units. However, this is because they actually left out units number 665 and 666. The reason why they do not exist is allegedly due to the perceived curse that many people place upon these numbers, due to the fact that they represent the number of the beast in the Christian faith. Paired with the fact that Christianity is extremely popular in this region of the US, you can see why they chose not to use these numbers for any rolling stock.
This train is bound for Doraville Station.
And we arrive in the Peachtree Center. The station is absolutely giant. and is 62 meters deep below the surface of downtown Atlanta, reminding me a lot of the post-Soviet metros, whose stations were actually built that deep to serve as bomb shelters just in case during the Cold War. With that being said, I do not have much time right now, so I will finish up. And continuing on the rolling stock, Swiss company Stadler are currently making replacement trains for MARTA, which are planned to go into service in 2025, and will slowly replace all of the existing rolling stock. With that being said, we can pull on into Midtown Station, where we can head on outside of our train and up to Midtown Atlanta. Thank you so much for watching. Next week, we will be heading just across the street here, where we will be riding one of MARTA's buses. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you there next week. Bye.